Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Sure. Let's dive into an informative tutorial on the CSS properties margin and padding, which are essential for controlling the layout and spacing of HTML elements. Understanding margin and padding. Margin and padding are both used to create space around elements, but they serve different purposes and are applied in different ways. 1. Margin. Definition: margin is the space outside an element's border. It creates space between the element and other elements around it. Effect on layout: margins can collapse with adjacent margins. Example: if two elements have margins, the larger of the two margins will be used. Usage: margins are used to control the distance between elements. 2. Padding. Definition: padding is the space between an element's content and its border. It adds space inside the element itself. Effect on layout: padding does not collapse, each element's padding is added to the total space taken by the element. Usage: padding is used to create space within an element, enhancing the appearance of the content. Visual representation. Here's a simple diagram to illustrate the difference. Plus dash dash plus. Margin space outside the border. Plus dash dash plus. Border element border. Plus dash dash plus. Padding space inside the border. Content. Plus dash dash plus. Plus dash dash plus. Plus dash dash plus. CSS syntax. Margin. CSS. Margin, top right bottom left. Padding. CSS. Padding, top right bottom left. Example code. Let's look at a practical example to illustrate how margin and padding work in CSS. HTML. Doc type HTML. HTML lang equals n. Head. Meta charset equals UTF-8. Meta name equals viewport content equals width equals device width, initial scale equals 1.0. Title margin vs padding example / title. Style. Body. Font family, Arial, sans serif. Background color, F0 F0 F0. Padding, 20px. Dot box. Border, 2px solid 007 BFF. Background color, FFFFFF. Width, 200px. Text align, center. Margin, 20px, / margin creates space outside the box *. Padding, 20px, / padding creates space inside the box *. Inner box. Border, 2px-28 a 745. Margin, 10px, / margin for the inner box *. Padding, 15px, / padding for the inner box *. Style. / head. Body. Div class equals box. H2 box 1 / H2. P. This is an example of margin and padding / P. Div class equals inner box. H3 inner box / H3. P. This inner box has its own margin and padding / P. /div. /div. /body. /html. Explanation of the code. HTML structure: we have a main container, .box, and an inner container, .inner box. Box styling. The .box class has a margin of 20px, which means there will be 20px space around it, outside the border. It also has a padding of 20px, which means 20px space inside the box, between the content and the border. Inner box styling. The .inner box class has its own margin of 10 px, providing space around it, and a padding of 15 px, which creates space inside it. Conclusion. Understanding the difference between margin and padding is crucial for designing layouts effectively. By using these properties, you can control the spacing of elements in a way that improves the readability and aesthetics of your web pages. Always remember that margin is for space outside an element. Padding is for space inside an element. Experiment with different values in your CSS to see how they affect the layout of your elements.